FitMC.
Whoa, hold on. I'm a Minecraft YouTuber, alright? That intro was not cringy enough. I need to be like the other Minecraft YouTubers. Let's try that again, but this time, I'll get it right. I hope you enjoyed that intro, because now I'm $1,000 in debt to the Japanese mafia. What's going on, everybody? This is FitMC, and I know the Incursion's kind of coming to a close in a few days, but I found a piece of history here. I was going through some of my old flash drives just to clean them out, and I found the original Word document that Sato sent us for the third Incursion years ago. Now, I love this because it's actually a really cool look into what 2B2T was like in the old days, before YouTube showed up at all. When I was just a normal player, I think the player count, the daily player count was 20 around this time. So that'll give you an idea of how long ago this was. But this document was sent to everyone at Asgard 2 when the base had been griefed. This was the game plan. This is what Sato wrote up, and it's here intact, so we're going to read through it today. Now, obviously, you got the Valkyrie and Eagle on the front there. Third Spawn Incursion Operation by Sato86. So that right there tells you it's official, it's legit. There are some basic rules, of course. Incursion supporters cannot go to the front line, only Asgard 2 members. The front line was like a base that we'd set up, like a spawn base kind of. That was not quite at spawn, but it was close enough to resupply. Incursion members that disobeyed were killed. I mean, that was pretty cut and dry there. You go against the Incursion, you die. And die people did, let me tell you. Incursion members can't kill each other, only in self-defense or with permission from one of the commanders. And, oh, here we go. The KOS, the Kill on Sight list. This is a list of all the people that were not allowed to join the Incursion. We had Pop Bob and his alts, O'Malamix, Drew Bookman, the list goes on. Dr. Ender Pickles, he was a major joke. I think his name now is Pistol Partners or something. I don't know. He was just a huge meme, and we all made fun of him. He's the guy that came up with the big player meme that a lot of the old players like to joke around with. Rainy Afternoon, Ormonger, and his alts, of course, because Ormonger was a big culprit with the Asgard 2 grief. I mean, we have no proof that he did it, but I mean, there's some evidence there. But any Incursion member is free to kill and destroy anything that is not aligned with the operation. However, there are standard procedures for griefing. Any Incursion member is free to build anything at the spawn base. Creativity will not be limited as long as it does not offend the operation and base members directly. So this is where it starts to get a little crazy. And by crazy, I mean this shows you how, even back in the day, how in-depth people were about their Incursions. I mean, here's the hierarchy list. Pyrobite, of course, the king of 2B2T, was on top. Exodus, followed by I, Tristan, Kane's Law, James Russell's. A lot of you recognize those names, of course, if you've seen my previous videos. But anyway, new names were added later, usually. The basics, we had our frontline base. There are some other spawn base ideas going on. Believe it or not, Wrath Outpost, which is the huge obsidian structure that is still at spawn today. That was originally going to be the first of like 7 spawn bases, but we ended up just going with that one and just making that our main base. But hey, it was totally okay because Wrath was one hell of a base. The policy, this kind of goes over why we were at spawn in the first place. Yeah, it was to kill new players, but also to make allies, to build things, to defend 2K2K, NFE, all that fun stuff. Let's see here. This, yeah, you can pause the video and read through this if you want to. I'm not going to spend too much time on that. But here are the major objectives. Hold spawn territory through strength and griefing, making new roads for easy access to spawn, defending of a new spawn beacon as well as a new spawn base, which ended up being Wrath Outpost, building eagle and dragon monuments as well as spreading our banners, meeting new people, making allies if possible, and smash any resistance or opposition to our rule. And then he kind of goes into the objective list here, but it's really interesting because it kind of gives you an idea of how much more dangerous things used to be, but also not dangerous at the same time. It says the terrain is filled with holes and gaps. Death falls of 64 blocks will kill you if you are not careful. It is highly necessary to use feather falling 4. That's right. One of the recommendations was wear Feather Falling 4. Because remember, this was before totems. And even back then, gaps were not as common as they are today. Even though they were craftable, people didn't usually have huge amounts of them on them at any given time. It says, it'll be important to return to the frontline base to repair your armor because wasting God armor is not recommended. Withers will be at spawn as well. That's actually not true. Withers were actually disabled during the third incursion, which is why obsidian structures like Wrath lasted so long. You didn't have withers that could actually grief the structures. So anyway, let's keep going on here. The roads, of course, we had the roads operational from 0-0 all the way to Wrath. It was only like a 1,000 block distance, so it really was not a big deal to upkeep. The spawn beacon, we tried to protect it multiple times. It got stolen a few times, but we mainly managed to keep it standing. There were other objectives like building the giant eagles. That was a pretty big ordeal for us, and we built plenty of them. I'm pretty sure at 0-0 that we surrounded all the portals at 0-0 with these Valkyrian eagles. Of course, working together. Violence can only be answered to violence, both verbal and physical. Oh man, this is what I love. The rations. When we were part of the incursion during the third incursion, if we had new players join us, we gave them 2 stacks of God apples, which was considered a lot back then. Now, we have so many we don't even know what to do with them. We didn't use them as food back then. They were like battle only. You only use gapples in battle. You were a fool if you used them for something else. But now, because of the dupes, there's really no problem there. It says use a hack client with auto armor. I should note, this incursion was actually the first time I ever used a hack client on 2B2T. Because like I said, the first 2 years I played on 2B, from 2013 to 2015, I was strictly vanilla. I did not use hacks at all. So it finally came time to use a hack client when I joined the third incursion with Sato. Here we go. Each member of Asgard who wishes to join will receive 2 stacks of golden apples. Ooh, I know, that's big money right there, big money. But we had so many God apples left over from the Cool Kids Club since we had crafted so many. Like, I was set. But there were other people from Asgard that definitely needed them. But yeah, this is the entirety of the document. I mean, this just goes to show you how much times have changed. Back then where you could build something at spawn and you could not grief it with withers. When 2 stacks of God apples was considered a lot. Before totems, where it was classic PvP. This is, in my opinion, this was the golden age of PvP because there were no crystals, there were no one-hit KOs. You just had to beat each other to death until your armor broke and then hope you had another set on you. This is where I did most of my spawn PvP, was during this era, and let me tell you, it was fun. What's interesting is that near the end here, let me go back to the hierarchy. Tristan actually did betray the incursion, and I actually had to duel him, and I managed to kill him. I fought him all the way down to bedrock. He tried to pearl out, and I ended up killing him in a tree, so that was pretty cool. Pyrobite, of course, was the main genius behind Wrath Outpost. He had an infinity obsidian block, which let him place all that obsidian. And I think we only needed like 100,000 obsidian. The wall today that we've built is in the millions of obsidian used, so there is way more obsidian used, and it's with like not an infinite. We actually had to mine out those e-chests for it. So, and by we, I mean the incursion members and the new players we got to help us. So that goes without saying though. But I thought this was a cool little preview into the past of 2B2T, what the server was kind of like before the YouTuber invasion, and the things that we did in the old incursions. You know, before Discord, before the Skype chats were a big thing. This is where it's at right here. A little piece of history for you. So anyway, I just thought some of you more lore-oriented people might get a kick out of this, and I definitely hope you have. But that's it. The incursion ends in a few days, so I'll be putting out a video kind of discussing the overall, you know, goals that the incursion met and how, in my opinion, I would say this was the most successful incursion of all time. And I'll explain more about that in the coming days. So that's it, everyone. Thanks for watching my video. So make sure you take it easy, and we'll see you next time. Also, I've gotten some fan mail. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten about you. I'll be unboxing that probably in the next week or so. So make sure to stay tuned for that. So take it easy, everyone, and we'll see you next time. And that's all I got for you. This face cam thing is awkward. Okay, see ya.